Well, today we're taking a look at our Hemi. We have an engine light on in our 2008 Dodge Ram 1500. This is the vehicle we call Mickey, who pulls Miss Minnie. And during the trip, actually before the trip, I noticed an engine light on. It went off before the trip out to Colorado and didn't think too much about it. Off and on during the trip, the engine light came on. Didn't have any symptoms, but as I drove around here at home, the last few days, the engine light has come back on again and I'm getting some engine misfires. So I got a program called Fixed. I got the OBDC driver device, I'll show you that in a little bit, and ran the engine codes, and it gives me a P0305 code, which is a engine misfire on cylinder number 5. On these Hemis, I understand it's the top dead center, or the number 1 cylinder, is on the driver's side in the front. So it goes 1, 3, 5, 7. So number 5 cylinder is going to be the 3rd cylinder back from the front. It could be several things. It could be a coil pack, it could be spark plugs, it could be the fuel injectors. It could be a flattened lobe on a cam. We'll talk more about that. There is a history of these Hemis in this vintage of the roller lifters not getting enough lube, and the cam lobe being basically just ground off with the lifter that freezes up. Causes misfires, causes the intake valve or the exhaust valve not to open or close fully. So we hope it's not the latter, but let's get in here and get started. Do some troubleshooting, see if we can narrow it down. It's not just so easy to pull off the valve cover and take a look at the valve motion. So we're going to check the coil packs, the plugs, and the injectors first before we go any deeper. If those check out all right, then we'll have no choice but to pull off the valve cover and see what's happening down inside the engine a little further. So come along with me, crawl in here. I'm probably going to need some help. It's hot today. I'm going to have to turn the air con on and get this place cooled off so I can do some troubleshooting. So sorry for the background noise. I had to turn the air conditioner on because it's getting pretty hot in here. Little history with this truck. I bought this truck used a few years back. It's a nice truck, shows well, paint's good, no rust, interior's good. It had 120,000 miles on it when I bought it, and at that time I thought it was a pretty good deal, and it was. So we've driven it for, I don't know, 3-4 years now. I've put about 25,000 miles on it, not a lot of miles. Some of those miles have been pulling a 4,000-pound camper trailer, which is not much. The most recent trip was the most aggressive, going over the mountains at 12,000 feet out in Colorado. So we gave the engine a little work over, but these Hemis are made for that. Anyway, so that's kind of a rundown of the vintage of the pickup truck. I don't expect it to be a major issue, but then again, you never know. We're just going to start small here and work our way into the vehicle, see if we can find out what's wrong with it. So these trucks aren't as small as the old 1960s models were. Got to get a ladder to climb up in there and take a look. So first off, it looks like it takes a 10mm wrench, and we're going to have to get in there, take off 2 bolts, it looks like. Yeah. That one's easy to get to, number 1. So we'll pull number 1 out because we're going to replace it with number 5 and see if it follows, see if that code follows. We'll figure out how to get this off of here. Yep, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to get me something to put the bolts in. You see right now that brake master cylinder is going to be in my way to get the number 5. That might be a little fun. Alrighty, here is the first couple of bolts coming out. Just give them a little tug and they come out. So here's what a coil pack looks like on the 2008 5.7 Hemi. Visually, no problem. Everything looks good. That's what plugs down into the spark plugs. We're going to mark this one El numero 1. Yeah, this might be a little tricky, fellers. Gonna have to get back in there with the ratchet. Okay, bolts out. Wire off. Now, will this thing come out of there? I don't know. Well, here it is. Number 5 coil pack. Looks to be normal. We're going to mark that with number 5. El numero 5. Let's put number 5 and number 1. There we go. Wires on. All right, number 5 is now in position number 1. Let's thread that other one back in there, hopefully. I don't know if I can get all my acrobatics together to do this or not. We're fixing to find out, fellas. Need 2 or 3 hands, for sure. Gonna have to go by feel. There we go. See that? See that, fellers? Yep, wire's on. Start these bolts down here. So once I get this button back up here, the plan is to take my fixed module, which runs off of my iPhone, and clear the code, run the engine, and see if we cleared the code or not for real. Yeah, that's the plan. If I can get that bolt started back there on the back 40, it'll be all right. There's one bolt tight. I can't imagine getting this lucky, fellas. But hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? If that number 1.5 coil is bad, all I gotta do is switch it out with a new one, and we'll be in business. But like I said, good luck getting that lucky. All right, number 5's in there. Number 1's in there. So as I said, I bought one of these fixed modules. It's an OBDC driver. It talks to my iPhone and shows me the codes. I don't have two cameras to put on this to show you, but I'll plug this in up under the dash, and I'll let the software on my iPhone app do the rest, and I'll give you some screenshots. So I'm going to clear the codes and come back to you and tell you if the swapping of these coil packs did any good at all. So I have the vehicle running, and so far no check engine light, just the door light, which I have the door open at the moment. So that's initially good news, but let's run the scans here and see if we can pick something up, and probably have to run it down the road and see if we can see any more codes pop up here. Here we go. Here's a screenshot of Fixed app on my iPhone. It says I have a cylinder 5 misfire, a couple of more issues there, and now I'm attempting to clear the codes. It's communicating with the OBDC driver. Well, so I ran it around the block and went through all the gears, got up to 60, 65 miles an hour, back down again. The engine light flashed one time, and now it's off again. So we're going to run our check engine light software again and see if it changed the codes or not. So I'm looking at the history log here. It had a number 5 misfire, and now guess what? It has a new cylinder 1 misfire. This would initially tell me I have a bad coil pack. So I'll order one, install one, and be right back. Well, so I'm back and have the part in hand. This is actually made in the US of A. Mopar genuine parts and accessories. They give you bolts. They give you the dielectric grease, which is good. That'll make good connection with the spark plug, so let's change it out. So what do you think, Rocky? You ready to take this thing for a test drive? I guess you're not, huh? Lazy hound. Look at you. Let's go for a test drive, big boy. Come on. No? Okay. Go by myself. Well, folks, it's my lucky day. I fixed it. It works. No more misfires. So if you have a problem like this, I highly recommend you get fixed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, or dissent. You've been watching the Junkyard Tailgate channel. Good day.